What happens when life as you know it falls apart? Your marriage, your finances, your sense of security, it's so unsettling. And everyone has gone through this unsettling feeling. And Tracy Beavers, it was in the middle of that unsettling feeling when she felt like she needed to get divorced. Bills piled up, money was so tight, and she was in fight or flight mode in her body forever. And so we dive into her beautiful story, how she found a great partner, got remarried, has this successful business, and all the ups and downs in between of that. Tracy is a business coach and has a top-ranked podcast. She is a visibility and email list growth expert, and she's building an audience of buyers. So she has a wonderful Facebook group, and honestly, Tracy has the best energy. She has the energy of everybody has a seat at the table and come to the Tracy table. So I can't wait for you to get to know her, and I will see you inside the episode. Tracy, thank you so much for being on the show today. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is going to be so great. Now, before we jump into your story and your awesome human design chart, because you're so freaking awesome, I cannot wait to share with you about it. We are going to do a little game. It's on with my ROI of Peace app, and it's called Pick Your Piece. And so you're going to pick your piece. So
Okay.
This is the game board, and on here are 12 visualizations. Now, these tie into the 12 interferes that interfere with our success, that sabotage our characters. And everybody has those rhythms, and we want to identify those so that we lean away from them instead of just going with it. So you're going to choose a number between 1 and 12.
Oh, boy.
And I'll tell you what visualization we're doing.
Okay. 6.
6? Okay. 6 is the overpleaser. Okay.
I'm laughing because I used to be that girl,
Yes.
but I can't say that I am anymore because maybe it's because I'm 55 and I feel like my give a shizzer is broken, but I'm like, no, I don't care if I please you anymore.
That is really great. And that's perfect. I know. And I think because too, like, I feel like the as I age, I'm like, I don't give a crap as much, but I'm like, but I still care so much for people,
Oh, I do too. I mean,
and the people that I care for, I'm
course.
like, oh, I really like,
of
want to
course.
make sure you're happy. Do you know? Like, I think it's that thing of it,
Yeah.
you know?
That's a good point. I do. I'm that way too. Yes. So it's not that I don't care about the people I love, but it's just like, I don't know. Some people I'm like, I don't care if you like me.
Yeah, I don't care about your opinion, and I really don't care. Instead of like saying I don't care in my 30s, but kind of really actually caring a whole lot, whatever. So, all right, friends, everybody listening, Tracy too, if you're in a seated position, you can go ahead and close down your eyes. And in these next few minutes, you're investing in peace, and that investment starts working right now. The overpleaser learned to keep everyone happy so that they wouldn't be rejected or cause conflict. But that's a lie. Real peace doesn't come from keeping harmony. It comes from honoring the truth inside of each of us. Let's let the story and visualization begin. There once was a woman who lived at the edge of a canyon. Each morning, voices drifted from the cliffs around her. What do you think? Do you agree? Will you help? Every time she answered quickly and softly, yes, of course, you're right. Her words bounced back through the canyon, smooth, polite, identical. At first, it felt peaceful to her to hear the echo return, proof she had pleased everyone. But after a while, she noticed something missing. Her voice never sounded like hers. One day, she walked deep into the canyon, farther than ever before. In this, the walls curved high and close, holding her in silence. For the first time, there were no questions, no voices, just still air. It was quiet enough for her to hear her own heartbeat. She placed her hand on her heart and whispered a word that wasn't an echo. No. The word didn't bounce back. It stayed in the air, warm, alive, and true. Then she tried another word. Yes. This one came from her chest, not her fear. It sounded different, full, grounded, free. She smiled, realizing her voice had been waiting all along, not to echo, but to exist. When she left the canyon, her silence no longer scared her. She no longer rushed to fill it. And when someone asked her a question, she paused long enough to listen to herself first. Her peace didn't come from pleasing others. It came from honoring her own truth, wisdom, and thoughts and perspective. When are you echoing others instead of speaking your own truth? What would it feel like to speak from a voice today that is yours, filled with truth and honoring your thoughts, your perspective? And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Well done. Good job. That's another investment in your peace as a reformed people pleaser, you know? What's one of the messages that was coming towards you to you about using your own voice, you know, not echoing other people?
Right. And from a business standpoint, that resonated because there are so many voices in the online space telling us we should do this, we should do that. And growing up, we have voices in our lives that tell us we should do this, we should do that. And I think that for me, it just solidifies that I need to make decisions that are authentic to me and not and take into consideration other people's advice or ideas. But at the end of the day, if it's a no, it needs to be a no, and I need to be okay with that.
Yeah, I think it is. It's for me too. It's standing in that truth. And sometimes that truth takes a little bit of listening instead of, I think my natural people pleaser is like, okay, sure, you know, we'll do that, you know, instead of being like, wait a second, let me just hear what I have to say in here
Mhm,
first. And then I can come to the table with what I feel, you know. I think
mhm,
something as I've learned that it just takes a process, you know? It's just a process of listening and learning and
mhm,
being okay in whatever circumstance to say how I feel, you know?
mhm,
And to know that those words have value. Take us back to the season in your life where you were getting divorced.
mhm.
Everything was shifting, everything was uncertain,
Yeah,
financially, physically, emotionally, all the things.
all the things.
Yeah, what was happening and how did it feel during that time?
Oh, it was horrible. It was absolutely
Yes.
horrible. I'll never forget, it was February 2007, and I woke up that morning and I literally had the thought, "Okay, he wants to be married, but he doesn't wanna be married to me." Because I had spent the last 4 years going to therapy, asking him to go to therapy, taking us to couples therapy, trying to make trying to work. I never wanted to be divorced. It's
Um,
just not anything anybody plans on. And we had 2 kids, they were 8 and 4 at the time. I didn't want any of that, but I also didn't wanna continue to live the way we were living in a marriage that was loveless and where he just wasn't a good partner. He
mhm.
just wasn't, and he wasn't going to be. And I came to that realization, I was like, "Okay, he loves being married, he wants a wife, but it doesn't matter who it is, and it's not gonna be me anymore." And the scary parts were so I had a long career right out of college with an insurance company, and, they had downsized and given us all severance packages if we didn't wanna move to a new city, which we didn't. And so I had put that in the bank and spent the last 2 years before that, dabbling in some entrepreneurial pursuits and, trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. So I technically hadn't worked a W-2 job in 2 years, and I did not have any savings of my own. I only had our joint accounts. And, so I was sitting here thinking, okay, I don't have a job. I don't have any benefits for the kids.
Yeah.
I can't afford this house that we bought as a married couple because even though we qualified for it with my income in the years prior that we bought it, I don't have that income anymore and I can't afford our mortgage payment. So I had no money of my so I was sitting there thinking, "Oh, this is great." I realized I can't stay in this marriage or I will literally die. My spirit was dying. I was miserable. It was reflecting in everything. I just knew I couldn't do it anymore. And then I had no money. I was like, okay, that's great. Can't live here. No place to go. Don't have a job. Okay, wow. And I'm like, how the heck is this going to work out? You know,
Yeah.
like what in the world? And so I just step by step, my grandfather, who I adored, always said, one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. And so I was like, okay, okay, we're going to do this one day at a time. And
Yes.
sometimes, Courtney, it was 5 minutes at a time,
Oh,
15 minutes at a time. And so I just slowly started to figure it out. First, starting with a job search, trying to secure something, saving as much money, working again here and there, saving as much as I could, and trying to get through to him that, here, dude, this is it. This is it. You know, we're
yeah.
either gonna be together and we're gonna put this thing together, and I'm gonna listen to you and you're gonna listen to me and we're gonna give and take and we're gonna be a team, or that's not gonna happen. So by August of that year, I had, s I had saved some money. I had found a job. It was not the job I thought I would have. I thought I was gonna go back into corporate and pick up where I left off at my corporate salary. Well, no, 'cause it just the universe had other plans. So the school where our kids were going to school, they went to private school. They were starting a preschool, brand new preschool, and they needed a paraprofessional. And so by working there, I got free tuition for the kids, which saved me $10,000 a year. And then I was on their same schedule, going to the same place they were. You know what I mean? So it made school drop
Yes.
off and pick up really easy. But I mean, I was making $15,000 a year. $15,000 a year, raising 2 little kids in 2007, and I did find a place to live. Things started to happen, and I know that it was absolutely God and the universe, and me just taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, having faith. Because literally there were days when I was on my knees with my face in the cushion of the chair,
Yes.
crying and saying,
Yes.
"I can't do this.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and you're gonna have to fix it, God. You're gonna have to fix it because I can't." And he
Yes.
did, because at that paraprofessional job, I met a teacher who had been renting a house, and the rent was something I could afford because they were buying a house. So she introduced me to the landlord, and it was a perfect home, 1,500 square feet on a cul-de-sac, safe neighborhood. It was a God thing. And I
Yes.
would not have found that house without her, without that job.
Yes.
And
I
so, yeah, but I mean, I was making $15,000 a year, and literally there were times when I had enough money for food for the kids,
uh,
and I lost so much weight. People were like, my friends were like, "Are you eating?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm doing all right." But
yes.
anyway, and if it hadn't been for my parents, my mom and
Yeah.
dad lived in the same city, and I would come home from school sometimes with the kids and open up the door, and mom had gone to the store and bought paper towels and toilet paper and, things that she knew that I was, like, being really cheap on, but needed.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was.
Yeah. That is awful. I think what I really tune into is like with these heavy changes and challenges and trials that are just so heavy that there's doesn't feel like there's a way to go forward. There doesn't
Yeah,
feel like there's any sunlight, in our
yeah.
lives in
Oh,
here.
no, none.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you and with the financial, you're like, literally, there's nothing that $15,000 can buy, especially now, too. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh. But
I know.
people are in that same situation. How did you get your body to calm down during those times of where everything on paper looked like,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't think I did a very good job of it, quite
Uh,
frankly.
yeah.
I think my adrenals are still repairing from that time. I was
Yes.
in fight, flight, or freeze for a year, and then, long story short, the divorce was horrible. It didn't have to be, but he made it that way. He imploded, lost the house, filed bankruptcy, lost his job, wasn't paying child support, And this went on for several years, and
Mhm.
he tried to sue me for custody and called DHS on me. I mean, it was
Oh
just a
my
nightmare,
gosh.
and I was in fight, flight, or freeze the majority
Yes.
of that time. Absolutely.
Wow.
And I had to exercise every day.
Uh-huh.
I had to stay grounded in my faith, and I literally had to say, "Hey, I'm gonna get through this day, then we're gonna see what tomorrow brings." And sometimes I would say, "Okay, Tracy, get through the next hour. Get through the next hour, and then we'll get through another hour." And just take a deep
Mm.
breath. And eventually, I did go back into corporate. I went to work for a bank and was making better money. And thankfully, the school put the kids on scholarship because my mom had taught there for about 30 years and they understood my situation. But, um, worked for a guy that I was a loan officer at a bank or assistant and worked for a guy that was extremely understanding of my situation. But what helped in that time period, though, 2
Yes.
things helped now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Working at the preschool, you really can't be upset around kids, especially little
Yes.
kids, right? I mean,
Yes.
if you're a crab around little kids, there's something fundamentally wrong with you. So, going to work and being around those little kids, that helped tremendously. As a massive
Mm.
distraction, I had to park everything at the door. I just really couldn't bring anything to work with me, and I didn't really want the people around me to I just didn't wanna talk about it. You know?
Yeah.
So it was a really good distraction. And then when I started working at the bank, same thing, especially at the bank. Park it at the door. Don't come
Mm.
into the and sit at your desk and cry. Oh my God, no. Nobody's gonna promote you doing that. So it was a good distraction, really. So I had some good distractions during that time. And then eventually when I met John
Yeah.
and we started dating, we were 2 hours apart, which was great because he had never had kids and never been married. And here I come with these 2 little kids, and so it gave us time to really get to know each other and figure out if this was gonna work, and also for him to get used to the idea that I had kids. But that was a good distraction too. On the weekends when I didn't have them, I was able to forget about all the crap for a little bit.
Yeah, and I do think that stepping away, from from facing those fears, doing things that pour into us. I talk about all the
Mhm,
time with my clients about having a peace list, and on the
mhm,
peace list is free things, it's other things, paid things too, but it's like all sorts of things that really fill our souls with peace.
mhm,
And I think about this heavy cloud those traumas and trials are, and about piercing through those takes peace and takes light and takes some movement forward and takes some pressure off during that
mhm.
circumstances. I
Yeah,
have clients who are like, I just feel so down about what's going on with this and this. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's heavy. As you should. You're not a robot. You're an actual human who has feelings. So don't
yeah.
be hard on yourself for like experiencing this. And then also too, with your journey of this, it was a process to work through it, and I feel like the preschool was an opportunity that might have not seemed like an opportunity at the time. and
Yeah.
and so how have you seen as your journeys progressed
Mm.
from then till now, other opportunities that have come into you that didn't seem like opportunities, but they really turned into great things?
Yeah, well, gosh, I didn't think that meeting my now husband was an opportunity because I had spent 12 years married and it was not good, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know about this." And, the funny thing was that he wasn't sure about me either. He was like, "I've been on a lot of really bad first dates, and I don't know about you either." So we both were kinda like, "I don't know if I like you, and I don't know if I like you, and I don't know if I wanna like you," you know?
Yeah.
So that was a blessing.
Mm.
Another God thing. Absolutely. Because we
Yes.
have a true partnership. He's the best thing that could have happened to me and the children.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, he's
And I
such a good
think,
person.
yeah, I think that sometimes in our brains we think, well, because this is what the past was, so my
Mhm,
future self can't have a relationship or can't have the financial or can't have fill in
mhm.
the blank of whatever we didn't have in the past. But
Yeah.
think that the phrase that has helped me so much and helped my clients is, this time is different because.
Mhm,
Like, as you were saying, I was like, you guys were a true partnership, a true
mhm.
friendship, a true connection.
Yeah.
And so, of course, this is going to be different
Mhm.
than the fears of the past bring up, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, totally. And it goes so beautifully into your human design. Now, just so we're on the same page of human design, all our friends listening, human design is like, it's like a personality test. If people love the Enneagram, they love Strength Finders, they're going to love human design. And it dives into like 100 levels deeper. Typically, there's 35 to 40 parts on a human design chart. We're just going to hit a few today, but it's really a beautiful way to reflect and say, this is me. This is the gifts I was born with. This is how I operate best. And instead of judging ourselves against other people, like my type doesn't have a whole lot of energy, so my energy comes in waves.
Got
So
it.
I can be like, you know what? I do need a nap because that's what my body needs. And so we're going to
Yeah.
do it, you know? And
Yeah.
naps are part of my business plan. So,
I love that. I
yes.
love that.
So you are one of the types in human design is a generator.
Mhm.
Now, this is like the first step in learning about human design. And so the mantra for this is I am here to make things better and better, one inspired step at a time. And as a generator, you're here to improve things instinctively. You're like, you can see the little layers of what can be better and better and better. Just like by your almost like the sixth sense of like, well, if we tweak this a little, this
Mhm.
could be a lot better, you know? And so this natural problem solving rhythm lives inside of you.
Yeah.
And you're going to figure it out. You're going to be like, okay. And you're going to have the energy to do the work to get to the other side, which is also really cool too, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so, and then when you're living and working in what you love to do, that energy is really, really magnetic. There's something so inspiring about it. And this is what I've noticed about you too, is I'm like, she's so like, there's just a magnetizing energy around you
Thanks.
that people like want to be drawn towards you. And so the work that you do is so important. It's like everybody has a seat at the Tracy table. Do you know? So, when
That's me.
that's
For
yeah,
sure.
it's totally you. Yes, when you're using your energy to fix things and you still are a person, you have a bunch of energy, but you don't have unlimited, you know? As a human being, you know, when you're in this energy of you're trying to fix this or figure this out, you know, that can create a lot of pressure, that can create a lot of buildup, can create a lot of all the feelings, all frustration, especially frustration for you as a your
Mhm.
design type. How do you not lead to burnout and too much pressure? Or maybe
So
this
funny.
is hard, actually. So let's dive in if this is difficult.
It is. It is difficult.
Yes.
Now, I will say,
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever experienced full burnout. And I'm always curious to know, like, when somebody mentions burnout, I always want to go, tell me what that meant for you. Because maybe I'm burning out and I don't realize it. But so I'm not sure that I've experienced that. But I'm a really good worrier.
Oh.
Like, if there were professional sponsorships for worrying, I would be a millionaire. I'd have labels all over my shirt. People would be throwing money at me to represent their worry company because I'm so good at it. But I do feel that I will work until I am just done. Like last night was a prime
Mm,
example. When you and
yeah.
I were messaging back and forth, I
Yes.
had worked I look back on it, I think I worked a 12-hour day yesterday, and my eyes were so tired, and I was so tired, I was done, but I still
Oh.
had things to do, and it made me mad. I was like, "Ugh, I still have so much to do. There's always so much to do." So, I'm not sure I'm answering your question very well.
You know, you're doing a great job. I think that what is so interesting about generators, and I'll put in there manifesting generators because both of those human design types have a lot of energy. And our friends listening, if you need to get your human design chart, you can just find it in the show notes too, so you can know what type you are.
Yeah.
But but it's this laundry list, this list that is always going. It was hilarious. One of my clients who's an MG, she showed me her on paper list, like it's an 8 by 10 or
Yeah.
whatever, filled with full
Yeah.
and
I
never.
have
Yeah.
I have mine right there, and if you could see it, you'd go, "Yeah,
Yes.
yeah."
Yeah.
In fact,
Totally.
today, I said to myself this morning, I was like, "I have got to clear my schedule." Because I
Yes.
just came off of a launch of my 8-week group coaching program. We launch 3
Yes.
times a year, and we finished that. It did not go the way it normally does every October. We normally hit 25 to 30 students. This time we had 15. I am very grateful for the 15 that we had, but that is a $10,000 not loss, but not achieved that I normally
Yes.
have between now and the end of the year. And so, speaking about the shoulds and listening to the other voices, I was feeling a lot of pressure to do a Black Friday special, to a low
Mhm.
cost workshop in December, to do a quick cash injection like people talk about. And
Yes.
honestly, if I had my choice and I could wave a magic wand, I would not do any of that between now and the rest of the year, and all I would be doing is working on my next launch in January and doing a lot of coffee chats and a lot of networking and a lot of podcast interviews, because that is what feels good to me. And so, but I was ping-ponging back and forth between, "Well, Tracy, you should do this because you need to bring in the income and you need to grow your audience and your list and blah, blah, blah." But then I'm like, "I don't really freaking wanna do
Yes.
that." And
Yes.
so I'm like, I don't know what to I don't know what, like, I don't know. I don't know what to, like, do. I don't know
Yes.
what's gonna be right, except that when I think about doing the Black Friday thing, I'm like, "Oh god, I don't wanna do that."
Yes. And see, that's the right sign. As a generator, if
Okay.
you're feeling like you're part of how you make decisions best is following this sparkly feeling, following this yes. And the
Okay.
yes is like, yes, let's do it. Yay.
Okay.
And a no is like, I should do this. I feel like it's a responsibility.
Yes.
That is when you're like, nope, it's actually a no. And it takes courage, It's
Oh my god. Okay.
yes.
Can I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
you are so shining a light on what I had to just do a couple of weeks
Yes.
ago. There's a big name, and I've been in her program for years, and
Yes.
she allows members to do a training once a month, and I had for years wanted to be chosen to do this. Then I found out that people were not always chosen. They were asking, "Hey, this is what I could do a training on. Do you need it? Do you need this?" So I pitched the team after this big name told me my idea was great. Long story short, the team said, "Well, no, that idea, we don't want to use that. We want you to do on something on a different topic." Totally took the wind out of my sails. This was supposed to happen in December. And every time I went to think about putting together this training, I was irritated and I was frustrated and I didn't want to do it. And I thought, but here's the thing, Courtney, this person is a big name with thousands of people in her program that I could be speaking to. And the decision I ended up making was, I don't want to do it. And I
Yes.
told him no. I said, "I'm so sorry. I know that you have plenty of time." I know it feels last minute because 'cause we're recording this at the 1st of November, but I
Yeah.
told him 2 weeks ago, and I know darn well they have a waiting list of people, and they could just pick
Yes.
somebody and plug them in. If I tell anybody what I just did, they're gonna think I'm insane. They're gonna be like, "You turned down an opportunity to present to this person's membership?" And I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I did. Sure did."
Yes.
But I
Yes.
I was like, "Well, crap. Did I just blow it?" But
No.
every time I thought about putting that together, I was like, "No, this is a no."
This is a no. And that's exactly right. And it takes
Okay.
courage because what happens next? Yeah, you did exactly the right thing, Tracy. Because what exactly will happen next is the right yes is going to come towards you. Now, if you would have said yes to this other thing, like it blocks the actual yes that you want to say yes to. And we never know what's on the next step and what's on the other side?
Yeah.
Like a no is like, it's following the feeling is going to get you to exactly where you need to go instead
Yeah.
of doing the shoulds or the what people want you to do or the have tos or whatever it is. So if it's a have to feeling, don't do it, you know?
Well, but then that's where I start to doubt myself
Yes.
because,
Yeah.
as you know, I'm in the thick of peri freaking menopause.
Yes.
And I said to my business besties, I'm like, "I don't really wanna do all the stuff I thought I wanted to do between now and the end of the year. Is it because
Yes.
I'm being lazy?" Which is a generator thing. If you got time
Yes.
to lean, you got time to clean, right? So
Ha!
I'm like, "Am I being lazy? Is it my hormones? Do I need to ignore that feeling?" 'Cause, if it's my
Yes.
hormones, I'll just be like, "Well, screw you, hormones. I'm gonna build my business." So I was just like, "Eh."
Yes, totally. And it's really trusting yourself. And sometimes it does take, like reflection and journaling and
Mhm.
time, like a day or two or a week. Be like, is this just me? Because like, last night, it was so funny. It was, like, 9:30 at night, and with daylight savings now, it's
Yeah.
so dark, it feels
Oh
like
my god.
midnight, you know?
Midnight at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. So,
Ridiculous.
I was just so tired, but then I started feeling this, like, physical exhaustion, like, everything hurt. It's all these MS symptoms of everything hurts, and then my brain goes to, like, everything is crap. The whole world is against
Yes.
me, and I suck, you know? And
Yes.
so I was like,
Yes.
"Just go to" so I'm like, "I just need to go to
Just go to
bed.
bed.
I'm just gonna go to bed." So I got, like, 10 hours of sleep last
Oh,
night, and I
nice.
feel so lovely, and I feel like the
Yeah.
world is for me now,
Right,
you know?
right. I
And so
know.
that's like I can make better decisions, and I can see the opportunities that are coming towards me. So,
Yeah.
and this goes along with another part of your human design chart. When we're looking at the body graph, right?
Yeah.
There's these places on the chart that are centers, and they're
Mhm,
centers from the top of our head all the way down.
mhm,
And the center that I want to look at is around the heart center, and this
mhm.
is your willpower center. So you have this defined. It's colored in green on my site, and so that always means go. You always have this ability. And this is willpower. So you have the gift of willpower all the time. And
Yeah.
actually not
Blessing
for
and a curse.
yes, for reals, right? For that little like
Yeah.
you're like, I'm gonna get through this to-do list whether it kills me or
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
The mantra for this is I can accomplish anything. And so you have this
Right.
steady ability to climb mountains, to like crush goals, you know, and to rally others too as well. I think that's the beautiful thing about these human design gifts is that they
Mhm.
can reflect on our clients. We can put them out there too to help others as well. And so no matter what is obstacles in front of you, you're going to either find a way through it, around it, over it, whatever. It's going to go your
Yeah.
way. And so I think with all these opportunities that are coming your way, you're going to have the opportunity to move these mountains and to get to the other side. So now tell me, there are moments where this willpower is a difficult thing to have, a difficult gift, right? Because
Yeah.
our gifts can be our greatest assets, but also our greatest challenges.
Yeah. Because I will wear myself out.
Yeah.
I will. I
Yeah.
will white knuckle through something, and then I really think okay, this is so funny.
Yeah.
My mom has always said, the worst thing anybody could ever tell me as a child was no. No, you can't do it. No, it's not possible. No, that's not gonna work out. Because I was like, "Oh, hold my purse and watch me," like you just said, "find the mountain, over it, through it, blasting it, whatever I had to do, I was gonna make it happen." But I think that can also wear me out and frustrate me, and I need to be better about sitting back and taking a breath, like we were talking about before we started recording, actually allowing myself to go do some Pilates and not feeling bad about it because I'm not building. It's like sometimes I feel like if I don't have my laptop right there in the grip of my hands, that this whole thing is going to implode.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if I'm not
Uh,
checking on my business
yeah.
24/7, oh my God, is it, has anybody
Yes.
emailed me? Is there any money coming in? Does anybody, you know what I mean? Like if I go try to I'm a lot better about it in the past few years than I was
Yes.
in earlier. But I think I've got my dad in me that way because he was a workaholic. And
Yes.
I do find joy in my business, but I also think I just need to step back and take a freaking breath
Yes.
and just allow stuff to happen. And that is really hard for me because I am a make it. Oh, we're just gonna go. I'm gonna get a to-do
Yes.
list, and and God's over here going, hello, hello. Have you
Yes.
forgotten about me? And I'm over here going, I got this. You go solve world peace. I got my to-do list. You
Yes,
know?
exactly. Well, and that's really the strategy here for this gift is when your heart's in it, you have this unlimited energy. But when
Mhm.
you're doing things out of push and pressure and obligation,
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
burn you out. And I
Okay.
think that going back to like what burnout feels like pressure. It feels like panic attacks. It feels like over worrying, which is, another sabotaging interferer cycle. It feels
Yeah.
like a cloud, like heaviness,
Mhm.
feels like crying, like,
Yeah.
or just,
I
I
felt
just
that.
want to burn this whole thing down. That's
Yeah.
another one.
Or you know what? Maybe I should get my resume out and go get a job.
Yes. Yeah. We totally talked about this. Like, I'll go work at Target.
I will. I'll go like the guy I think I told you, the guy
Yes.
who, drives the truck that cleans the
Yes.
streets, the
Yes.
street sweeper guy, he'll go by and I'm like, "God, you're so lucky." I could drive the crap out of that truck, and I could listen to my shows and my
Yes.
tunes, and then
Yes.
I'm out walking the dog, and I see our postal carrier who's this precious guy named Nathan, and I'm thinking, "I could do that. I'd get so much
Yes.
exercise, I'd be so skinny, and I wouldn't have to talk to anybody, and" you know what I mean? But
Yes.
then I know I would drop the mail, and nobody would get their mail, and I would get fired,
Yes.
and it would just not work out, and I would
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, so but
Yeah.
totally, no.
And I think it's for our friends listening too. I'm like, if you notice those pressure points, I'm like, evaluate, like, what can we relieve from those pressures to open up
Mhm.
space? Because every piece of abundance, whether it's financial, relationships, goals, needs space to create and to curate.
Yeah,
So now, we talk about a lot in the ROI in business of marketing, sales, results, all these measurable markers of success, right?
yeah.
But the ROI of peace is different. It's about returns that we can't see on a spreadsheet. It's about this calmness in our lives that really help us to have all those things that we really, really want. So, where are you feeling called to invest more peace in your life or business?
I have really worked a lot on this in the last couple of years. I built this business so that I did not have to work for somebody else. And so that when I got to this point in my life, being 55, with 2 young adult kids that are probably going to marry in the next few years, maybe have children, I don't know, at least we'll have granddogs.
Yes.
And then our parents aging and passing away and all that jazz.
Yes.
Um, Peace to me means that if today
Mm.
one of my family members called and said, "Hey, I need you," I know I could go and I could take care and I
Mm-mm.
could be part of that. Peace also means knowing that I have the financial backing to not only do that, but to have a lot more fun with our family. I mean, this business paid for our family of 4 to go to Spain. This business paid for me to go to Paris to meet up with our son's girlfriend. My husband and I are gonna go to Scotland in the spring. Peace to me means calm and having fun and laughter and not pushing like I have had to push or felt like I needed to push to have
Yes.
success.
Yeah, freedom, that real freedom. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Well, I know that all our listeners and friends want to get into your world. They need to be friends with you.
Are you sure after everything I just shared, they're probably like, "Wow, she is a train wreck."
No, they're like, she is real and genuine and is freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. So how do they jump into your world? Where do they connect with you?
Well, I would love it if they are an online entrepreneur and they're wanting to know how to build their business in the online space. I have a top ranked show. It's called Create Online Business Success. And it's a really great way for them to get to know me, to really know if I'm for them or not. It's a really easy way to do that. But if they know they really want to connect with me, another great place is my free Facebook group. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. We have over 4,000 online entrepreneurs in there, and it's a true community of support and kindness and help when you need it. And also, you're encouraged to network with others and grow your business. So, I would love for people to connect with me in either of those places.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be so great. Tracy, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been so wonderful having you here. Like, just such
Thank
a light
you.
and so fun.
Thanks, Courtney.
And friends, thank you so much for being here because when peace is the strategy, success becomes sustainable. So if this show brought you a little more peace, follow, rate, review the show. We can be friends more in my mastermind community. It's such a great place to have more time together. And I know that when we feel peace, that's when success becomes sustainable. And when all the joy and the happiness and peace really comes flooding into our lives with abundance. So until next time, keep investing in what really pays off. Peace.